We're Diane and Sam, an Aussie couple determined to live a simple life of self-sufficiency and sustainability. Some people might think we're crazy to convert a bus into a home, but subscribe and you'll see just what bus life is really like as we set out on the road in a few short weeks.
So all that work was in vain.
It's a cheaper and easier process, which is why we're doing it in Victoria. I don't know why I'm whispering. It's like it's a secret. So let's talk through what needs to be done before we go away.
This marks our final week in New South Wales before venturing to Victoria for our first destination. And needless to say, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done.
Oh God, I'm so scared. Wait. Oh yeah, something's happening. So the bus is getting pretty close to being finished to a point where we can comfortably live in it while we finish off little things here and there. We've got our plumber booked in to finish off the gas and tick off the plumbing and certify all that on the 10th of April. So we'll be coming back early April and then we'll get the plumber in to finish that off. But that does mean that one of the next jobs that we have on our list is to get the venting done. So that's venting the door outside away from the solar system, adding a few vents in here because that's part of the compliance. And then we have to start thinking about bolting down all of our furniture, bringing in our fridge. We have had a bit of a oops moment with the fridge, and we'll explain it once we start bringing that in here. As far as building more cabinetry and storage, we're leaving that until after we're out on the road and get our bus registered, just because that's not a priority in getting the bus registered and we can just do it after, so that's fine. Yeah. To get us organised in these last few weeks and these last couple of months before we're out on the road. If all goes well, we should be out on the road by mid-April, and we should be going on our actual trip, if all the roadworthy and registrations and all go well down in Victoria, we should be off in May. And just to get us organised to meet that deadline and that goal, for the last 2 months leading up to the wedding, I have had this crazy calendar to schedule all of Sam's work shifts, all of the different appointments, visits to Melbourne over the hens weekends and the bridal showers and weddings and all the things, and then the different tasks that we have set. And so far we've been absolutely smashing this. I've been referring to this, so therefore I can kind of keep Sam on track. His brain has been on nothing more than the bus, so that's been really good. The last few things left for us to do: we need to figure out the fly screens on the walls. We need to finish sealing and painting, and that's going to be my job this week coming. While Sam's at work, I can get in here and get that done just before we go to the wedding. We need to plumb the sink, although by the point that you guys are watching this segment, we most likely have already finished that. We need to get the compost toilet in, bolted, and also work out how it's actually going to drain, because right now we don't have that figured out as of recording this. We need to finish waterproofing the bathroom floor and building out that little wall that Sam wants to create in there to keep the water in the shower. Installing the vents, as I said. Building the kitchen cabinetry, that's going to happen later. Finishing the ply walls, that'll have to happen after the electrician. We need to build cupboards in the bedroom, although what we currently have is working temporarily, and so that's fine. We need to build the living room furniture. Again, what we currently have temporarily is working fine, but that'll be nice. Fixing all our furniture in place. We want to do the front door. The engineer that we're going to go with down in Victoria, since that works out better with our plans, is actually happy to approve the door as is. So for anyone wanting to get their bus registered and who has a similar door to us, that's something to note, that some engineers will do it and others won't. The first engineer we've been working with wasn't going to do it. This one is happy to. So that's no longer like an urgent thing, but we still think we want to fix our door so that it swings out fully, especially because we have a cat and it'll be nice to actually be able to swing the door out and have a fly screen there for her. Some other things we need to do are bathroom door to have a bit of privacy in there. Installing our seats up the front. Another thing that we've learned about the seats and seat belts, if your seats are side on, you can't mount child seats to them, but if your seats are side on, you as a passenger, like an adult, can sit there, and all you need as far as seat belts go is one that goes across your lap. While if your seats face either forwards or backwards, you need like the full-on seatbelt. So that's really interesting to know if you're designing your bus and you're hoping to get away with just lap seats, then side-on is fine. I don't think we can install them in the couch, but it'll be cool to ask this engineer because he seemed a little bit more lenient, which I love. Also cheaper, like $1,000 cheaper to get it registered down in Victoria as opposed to New South Wales. And no need for pink slips, no need for like green slips and whatever coloured slips they need in New South Wales. It's a cheaper and easier process, which is why we're doing it in Victoria. I don't know why I'm whispering. It's like it's a secret. It's not. We also need to do the gas. As I said, we've got the plumber booked in. We need to do the electricity. That will be done with a friend down in Victoria. And then we want to start thinking about the cockpit area, which right now has just been like at the back of our minds, not something we're thinking about. But yeah, so that's what's left on the to-do list. It's all on one sheet. I'm sure there's many things I've forgotten, but that is like the big things that we need to get done before we can go out on the road. I enjoyed using post-it notes so much to organize myself for our wedding that I think we're going to do the same for this last week before we go on our holiday. I have pink post-it notes for all of the things that Sam is responsible for and yellow post-it notes for everything I am responsible for. I say we have the last week left, but really we technically only have about 2 or 3 days that we need to get this done in. And some things are urgent and other things are just things we've put off for too long that kind of just need to get done. Vents. Sink. And voiceover. Rust proof windows. Paint. I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand, but the more things I have, the more things I can rip off and feel accomplished for. Secure window trim, I guess I can call it. I'm also going to include some of my jobs for later in the week, so Sam and I can work together over those 3 days, but I actually have a few extra days because he's going to work that I can be doing things in the bus, and my priorities are going to be to sand down the rest of the ply that we have recently installed, and then be able to paint or seal whatever is appropriate for the different ply. So I'm going to do sand, paint, seal. And that is our list of things to do for the last week of the bus build. What we did for the rust did a really good job. It's just places where we had leaks in our windows and it continued to get submerged in water that the rust has kind of like popped up in places, but that's going to be easy to take back again.
Hey guys, back into it today. We're finishing the kitchen today for the grey water to go into the tank, so that when we finally get that one piece that we need for the shower, we can pressurize and then we can turn a tap on and actually have it drain somewhere. So Diane is got her jobs for the day. She's over there, everything's covered up. She's sanding, doing all the little finishing stuff that my brain never wants to do, because I'm an 80%er. And I'm going to be under this sink, so we'll do a dry fit first, and we'll make sure that everything lines up. It should, and we'll just see how we go. All right, so we've started dry fitting. This part was quite easy because this just comes in a pack. It's just a simple trap. The water pools in here, and it stops bad smells from coming back up through the pipe and into your home. So this was just an assembly, and then just pretty much screws straight on. So you didn't miss much there. But now I have to figure out how to plumb the pipe from here all the way over to here, which won't be too difficult, but it is a bit of a Tetris and is playing around. But luckily I already had done this before when I did the shower, so I had a bit of an idea of how I was going to go about it. So that's what we're going to be working on now.
I'm progressing well as well. I have installed all that window trimming around here that I've been meaning to secure for a while, and up there as well. And I've started to sand down this wall. Oh, and of course, I also ended up treating some of these spots here and then putting a bit of fresh paint. And while it dries, I'll be able to sand and then put on that window trimming. Back to you.
Thank you. Cut my pace. That goes there. And that goes that way. So let's get this in here properly. Ooh, that's a nice tight fit. But we need it to, you guys can see. Oh, okay, beautiful, look at that. We're gonna go straight through that gap, straight down. Oh, God. Big people aren't designed for these kinds of jobs.
So one of my issues at the moment is that a lot of things that I did a while back, I'm now having to fix into place because we're in the position of being able to do so. Now I'm grateful that I cut it and prepared it ahead of time, but my issue now is trying to match up where these actually all go. Yes, the little one. That does fit nice. Goes there. You.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. I've lined up those pieces, but see, I haven't done the bit behind the couch because I wasn't sure if I would need to rip the pieces or put them straight in.
When Di was cutting these, we didn't really know what the bus's layout was going to look like. The layout's actually changed a couple of times since, so.
No, we knew the couch was going to be there, and that's why I started.
Yeah, but we didn't know how high off the floor it was going to be.
That's what we didn't know, yeah. But at this point, especially with the flooring gap behind, I think it makes sense for it to come out this much.
To like finish it off properly?
Yeah.
Okay. But do you have enough timber for that?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Go on then.
Yeah, I gotta measure now. Alright, Sam needs you guys. I'm gonna keep figuring this out, and I'll see you guys when I finish it.
Oh, good day again. So we ran into a bit of a hiccup with my project. So the challenge we ended up having was I did not have a straight connector, 40mm pipe to 40mm pipe connector. I've only got the two elbows, which means I have to go straight down, use one elbow to go across at the correct level, and then the other elbow to attach onto the pipe. So all that work was in vain. Lucky we have spare pipe. And we don't actually need any more PVC pipe after this, so is what it is. Yep, it does make sense. Ooh, how do I do this? There we go. It would have been nicer to have it go to the back and then across. Would have been neater. But also, I just need a sink to be working, and this already was all dead space. I am, however, not going to make it permanent just yet, because the plumber still has to come to hook the hot water up. And if I put this here, he's not physically going to be able to get to it. So I actually kind of still need to be able to like disassemble things a little bit so that he can get in there. I'm actually quite glad I did think of that.
Weed that garden, dog.
Alright.
How good my herbs look. Oregano's coming back.
Good.
Yeah. Is that yummy? Yeah. I'm going to take a break real quick, make us some breakfast and also some herb garlic butter with these fresh herbs that our friends gave us from their garden. I'll see you when the vent's done.
Alright. So I'm being left in the sunshine to do all the hard work. I'm joking. But I've moved on from the plumbing in the kitchen, because pretty much every job I'm doing today is purely about when the plumber comes, making his life as easy as possible to reduce the cost, because we're like right at the edge. We're about to leave for our wedding. Like, we don't have any extra funds. So the shortest amount of time he can spend here doing things, the better. So right now what I need to do is cut a hole in the bottom of our gas chamber, because the ventilation needs to be 1.5 meters away from all of our electricals. So my plan is cutting a hole here. I've got an elbow bracket, so that'll pop up through the floor, and then this leftover piping from plumbing the water will run down the edge of the bus, and then I'll put some fly screen on the end of it just to stop any bugs from getting in there and sealing it up. We do have that problem up on the southeast coast. Ugh, mosquito got me. Good tip with going through this much steel and having to widen it for like 20 millimeters is to just add a little bit of oil to where you're drilling, because it'll lubricate the blade of your drill piece and keep it under temperature so it won't get too hot and then dull the edge.
Are you gonna watch?
There's no better feeling than cooking with or preserving fresh produce from the garden, no matter how small. Even though we have left our homestead gardens and are technically on the road, it's lovely to still get to do this with the produce
Might as well
from our
take
friends'
advantage of my
gardens.
herbs. I mean, look, there's not much, but something special about this. Goes away in me. And we should still have. Let's do 2 big cloves. I just melted the butter a bit in the microwave and now I'm just going to pop it in.
The This herb and garlic butter is great spread on bread for garlic bread, as seasoning to boiled potatoes, or smeared on a roast. The possibilities are endless.
Whew, hot outside.
Yeah, it is. Good day for a swim. Thanks, baby.
You're welcome.
Last you saw, I was drilling straight through the steel. I got all that done. Turns out I needed it to be 24 mil. I only had a 20 mil drill piece, so that was a good 30 minutes of slowly grinding out a hole, but never mind that tedium. So I've got a elbow pipe just here, you can see it right here. And then I've cut off this length of piping as well. So this is going to go straight into here. And then this is going to turn straight underneath the bus. So now I've got these pieces here. I will snap this on, and then I'll be able to drill a screw straight through the steel, and we've got our ventilation. And the ventilation point for our gas is more than 1.5 meters away from our electricals. So home run for this job. So today I only have a couple of hours, but the priority for us is getting the ventilation for the gas system into the footwell of the stairwell. So we need to be able to vent any dangerous gas that might be coming in that might leak, and that's just for the plumber to sign off on the gas for it to be safe so we can get the engineering certificate. So today I'm cutting out the ply, because the ply has to go in first before I can put that vent in. But it's alongside the stairwell, so I've had to do maybe 15 measurements. So it is no doubt inevitably going to not fit, and I'm gonna have to trim here and trim there, but it'll be what it's gonna be.
Would you look at this cat? Eris, get you. How are you comfy like that? You're so weird.
For any creative souls out there, or those wanting some bonus content of aspects of our lives that we may not share on this channel, I do have a second channel named Simply Die, where I do more chatty lifestyle videos and focus on my creative small business ethical wonder.
Not bad for a first set. I think they're only going to get better. You're definitely going to see more of this kind of content over on the Simply Die channel. So I'll link it down below, and I would love it if you follow it and share it with someone if that is the least that you can do. But if you do have a few extra dollars to spare and you want something beautiful from the shop, then please go visit it. It helps so much as we finish off the build of the bus, and we are absolutely at crunch time financially to get the build done. So yeah, I'm so excited to be putting these out there again and just sharing more things that I love. I have literally spent all of today just balancing editing the last few videos before we go on our trip, cooking to make sure that nothing goes to waste, and though I had on my list of jobs to do some finishing things for the bus and the windows, I don't know if I'm going to really get to it today, but I'm going to try my best. If not today, then tomorrow. But I'm really hoping to get to the vinyl in the bus today, and also to start sanding down all the walls and then sealing them in the next couple of days. So those are my big jobs. This bus has transformed from a construction site and nothing but that to something that feels really homely and beautiful, and I just can't wait for the utilities to finally get connected so that I can cook properly in here. So today I'm going to do all of the sanding in the bus, and I'm going to seal it like the day before we leave so that we're not sitting in the fumes. Let's do this. Dusty. I see it all flying to our bedroom. Great. While I wait for the dust to settle down and be able to vacuum it up and then seal it in the next few days, I want to have a go at putting the vinyl on these edges and try to clean this up, but also, you know what? I should have done it before I screwed these in. That was so silly. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we're going to use an iron. We're going to use this vinyl strip that I got, cut it down to place, and then see there's adhesive on the other side. The iron's supposed to melt that as you run it over and then stick it all together. So I'm going to cut it to size. I'm most likely going to cut these strips in half again, which will make the work twice as quick, but also make the edge a little bit thinner. I think that'll look better. And since I haven't actually sealed all of these sides around the whole bus, I can't do all of the vinyl strips. Only 5 of them. But that's still fine. We can make a decent start on one side of the bus and do the other side another day. Just finding her in all kinds of places today, but I like that she's appreciating the windowsill. Hey Puss, you like it there? Push, push. Freya. Freya. You like it there? That's a good spot for you, and you can go the whole way down. All right, so bring you guys a bit closer to the action and down a little lower. So I've just realized that by doing the strip thick, I'm actually going to be able to hide away the screws, which I don't know if you can see any of this, but that seems like a good idea to me. So I think I'm going to do that. Nice thick strips all the way down. Yeah, that looks really nice. We're supposed to just like iron it on. Oh God, I'm so scared. Wait, this bit. Oh yeah, it's something's happening. Doesn't make enough of a difference to keep going. I don't know. This is the before and after. So the idea is it's a little bit better protected, that edge, and it just finishes it off a bit. No screws too, if you can see. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a perfect matching color, but I don't think that matters.